Good evening friends, I'm going to discuss about the checkbox text, like a selected checkbox text. Suppose uh, we have two checkbox list. One is skills, having a list of checkboxes, and cities we have another list of checkboxes. So here when you select the specific checkbox, and we'll get that the value of checkbox till now, but we need to get the text of the checkbox as well. For that, something like here showing as JS is a value and JavaScript is a text. So what are changes needs to be done here? When I go to HTML, so this is input type is checkbox, and name is I define as skills for the list of checkboxes for this, and value will be I will get it basically from database, and this is the value. But if I want to associate test for that, then we have to define a label. So this label is associated with the checkbox. So for we have to define a for attribute equal to the, we have to define any name, like I can define as an option and hyphen. So I will associate with checkbox. Better we can provide as a value itself, because that can be easy to uh, get the text of a checkbox in your jQuery while retrieving the text of a checkbox. So for that I define a specific name, something like the option hyphen the value. Similarly I define for all other checkboxes, and similarly for cities. So each checkbox will be associated with the label, or the label basically having the text, and this is the value of that. So next one, I have the two divs, div1 and div2, one div for skills, one div for cities. So here, so when user clicks on either skills or cities checkboxes, so then basically we have to get the number of checkboxes selected, and similarly the text of a checkbox with the value. So for that, here I'm doing the same similar functionality. So I define a function that will be called in both places here, these two. So I define a function, I'm passing the group name. So group name is a parameter, like I'm passing a name as a parameter for a function, because this name is coming from the checkbox. So here, so this name is grouping by the checkbox are grouping by name basically. So I'm passing the name parameter. So here I will get the list of checkboxes which is selected using input type is input name as the name of the checkbox, and I will get all the selected checkboxes. If user selected, then this condition satisfied, the result.length greater than 0, then I will get that the number of checkboxes selected, and then I have to append this string with the checkbox which is selected. So I have the number of checkboxes, list of checkboxes are getting from the result. So I will loop each checkbox and I will append this value to a result string. So the selected value I define a variable. So I will get dollar, this is nothing but a checkbox, and I will get the value of that using a val method. So I have the selected value hyphen, and I have to get the text of the checkbox. So here, if you see here, this each label is associated with a checkbox. So here can write in such a way that we'll get that checkbox of the text of each checkbox which is selected. So I have get the provide the label, and attribute is for. So I'll define as an option. Then I will get the this each checkbox associated label using a value. So this is similar as this. So the input type value and this label for attribute is appended with the value. So that's the reason I have provided the selected value. This variable I'm getting from the checkbox value, and then I will get the text, so label text. So here I will get that the value hyphen the text of a checkbox. So I will append and I will display this string into the div. So div, I have two divs, right? For one div for like a I can define with the name. Name is associated something like, see here what the name is defined here. The similar name is I was append to with the div. So that's the reason I'm getting this div and name of that. So I will display in the div. And if user not selected, then I will display the no checkbox selected and display in the respective div. So just go to application. This is my application, just modifying accordingly without changes. Here some special node is added here, just replace with that with the special character with the empty space. Just replace all and put control KD to align the HTML. So I have input type is checkbox, and each checkbox is associated with a label with the attribute for. So I have another set cities, and each is associated with the label. Checkbox is associated with the label. I have a div skills and cities. So here I define a name in such a way that the div is append with the similar name of that. So this is useful while writing a JavaScript function or jQuery function. So I have defined a jQuery function. So here when user selects on a checkbox, that means input type input name equal to skills. Suppose user select a skills checkbox, so this will be find, and I'm going to call a function the get checkboxes. I'm passing the name of the checkbox. So here I'm passing here I will get the checkboxes which are selected using input name equal to the group name and colon checked. And if user selected, then this condition is true. Then I will get the how many number of checkboxes selected using result.length. So I will get this result string and I will append with the each checkbox are selected. So that the reason I have that list of checkboxes in result. So I will leave each using each function, each checkbox using each function. So here I will get the selected value using dollar this is having the checkbox. So each checkbox value I will get the value in the selected value variable, and then this is selected value. And if I want to get the text of a selected checkbox, then we have to get from the label. So label attribute is for, and we have option, and this selected value we have to append, because if I want to get the each generic way like a label, so this for attribute is having the suffix with the value of a checkbox, then I will get the label text. So once we get a string, I will display in the respective div. If user not selected any checkboxes, that means result.length will be 0 or undefined. Then I will show the no checkbox is selected and display in the div, respective div. Just execute this. So select, so I will get the selected checkbox. One is selected, and this is the value and the respective text of that checkbox. And similarly, if you click on VB, I will get the value and text. And if you click on cities, I will get that the number of checkboxes selected, and similarly value and text. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this video. Have a nice day.